Michelle Dulake, what a treat to get to see you and for everyone to get to see the woman, the veterinarian, the co-founder behind Fera Pets supplements. It's so cool that we have this YouTube element. Those of you listening on podcasts, keep on signing up for Spotify and Apple Music and Audible, but it is fun to see the real humans. Well, it's fun for me. I hope it's fun for everybody else. Michelle, the reason I am so glad to be partnering with Fera Pets and have you as a sponsor on my network is because I think what you're doing with supplements is so head and shoulders above everybody else in the field. And I mean everybody else. One of the concerns I have, and those of you listening know I've never recommended a supplement before, is because so many of these supplements are like an add-on bell and whistle to a company doing something else entirely, usually pet foods. And they think, wait, there's money to be had in supplements. And I don't mean it in a horrible way, but in fact, there's money to be made in supplements. So they come up with some cheerful, colorful, hey, this supplement's going to make your pet's day better. And you, on the other hand, being a practicing veterinarian and someone trained in Eastern and Western science, we don't really know what mushrooms are, but anyone who knows the least thing about acupuncture, you're also an acupuncturist, and Chinese medicine knows that mushrooms, especially the organic ones you use, have an enormous place in Chinese medicine. So the great thing, on top of all the other great things that you create, is that you have supplements just for cats. And I don't think anyone else is doing that. You
Yep.
have for cat illness and wellness, as opposed to let's take a dog supplement and just make it smaller and put a cat on the label. Let's talk about the difference in the two species and how supplements can benefit them.
Yeah, so cats still have the same problems. They still face the same health problems that dogs have. They have joint issues, they have stress, they have urinary tract problems. But I really wanted to close that gap and give pet parents the same high quality vet formulated options that they deserve. And we decided to launch our own feline specific line of supplements to really address the main issues that we see. So one of the biggest issues that we see in cats is chronic kidney disease. We know more than like about 30 to 50% of cats over the age of 15 years old, they do develop some sort of kidney disease. And things that they'll see are increased thirst, urination, weight loss, poor appetite, vomiting, things like that. And so we decided to create a supplement that can actually help slow down the progression of kidney disease. And so we include things like astragalus root, rehmannia, a mushroom that's called cordyceps to help promote detoxification in the kidney. We also include a clinically studied probiotic that helps support kidney health. And all of these things together, cat owners just really want to give their pet anything that they can to slow down kidney problems as they get older. And so this really does help regular detoxification, helps the kidney filtration function, all those things. And so that was one of the main things that we kept getting questions for was, do you have anything for cat kidney health? Do you have anything for cat kidney health? And so I really wanted to look there and provide a more natural option instead of, obviously people have to do the fluids, sub-Q fluids to help with the flushing out the kidneys and helping to hydrate them. But there's also diet, but we wanted to give that extra support for kidney health for cats. So that was one of the biggest reasons why we did it.
Well, it's interesting that you say that cats over 15 develop it because in what I've learned is that all cats, every single cat on the planet, as they age, and I'm talking about 6 or 7 years on,
Yes.
kidney disease. And what people don't understand is kidney disease means the kidneys are going to eventually fail because they become hardened, right? They become calcified and they
Yep.
can't do the filtering job. If everybody with a cat could give them a supplement that would keep the kidneys as vibrant and healthy and high functioning as possible throughout their life, it's do you people have not been told this. They haven't been taught this. They haven't been offered it. So they wait until someone says your cat has renal failure. Those
Right.
watch Grey's Anatomy or ER go, oh my God, my cat's kidneys failed. No, it means they're on their last legs, the kidneys. But in fact, you could protect them earlier and not wait until the horse is out of the barn and now do something. I suppose it's even helpful once you get the diagnosis, right?
Yes, but I think the hardest thing for pet parents to understand is the ideal situation is you would start your cat on the supplement while they're healthy. And
Yes.
they may not see a benefit right away, which is the problem because then most pet parents think, oh, I'm not seeing really a difference, so I'm going
Right.
to stop it because it's not really making a difference.
Yeah.
But you have to believe that it's actually helping them in the long term so that 5, 10 years down the road, they actually are not even getting kidney disease, or
Yes.
it's a lot slower and the kidney enzymes or all the blood levels, it's actually only increasing a little bit compared to if they didn't. Their creatinine and BUN would be very high. And so that's the hardest thing, is trying to educate pet parents to stick with it so that they will hopefully see those benefits in the long term.
Medicine is about prevention.
Yes.
Medicine is about keeping a balance in the body
Yep.
philosophically. And we Westerners, Western thinking, Western medicine, it's like you're fine until you're sick. Now you're sick, throw a bunch of medicine at it.
Yes,
It'd be great
exactly.
if people didn't have to give sub-Q fluids and stick a needle under their cat's skin and look at this big lump of fluid and feel creeped out by it and know that the cat is feeling crappy and threw up this morning. One organ can't do its job properly. Do anything wrong in the way you raised your cat, people. This is what happens to cats' kidneys, because if they were in the wild, there's really no domestic cat in the wild, but if they were, an outdoor cat's average lifespan is 7 years, whereas an
Right.
indoor cat can live to 21. That has to do with the dangers outside. If you
Mhm.
had an outdoor cat or part of a feral cat colony, the age at which the kidneys begin to fail would be the age at which they're going to die of something else.
Right.
You have a cat you've kept indoors and are pampering and giving only wet food and it's got a great life, that cat's going to get kidney disease because it's getting older. Get joint disease. Everyone's going to get arthritis. You
Yep.
can't avoid it. Of course, you can
Yep.
take supplements throughout your younger years that will minimize it. So, because Fera Pets makes your products out of the highest quality certified ingredients, they're expensive to make. How do we get people to accept the financial hit, knowing that it will give their cat a longer, higher quality of life and much less medical bills down the road?
So I think if you look at the actual servings of the products, yes, I would say our average price is around $30, but it usually lasts for 2 months. So each serving is 50 cents.
Yeah.
So you're paying 50 cents a day to help your pet not have these huge medical bills and suffer later
Yeah.
in life. And I can talk to people all day who they're already going through the issues, but what I really want to do is talk to people who want to be proactive and tell people to be proactive about their pet's health than the reactive pet parent. I think that people are switching more towards being proactive. By the time you're being reactive, it's you have medical bills, you have to give your pet shots and things like that, and it's just too stressful on the pet too. And they probably won't have that much longer to live. So I think realizing that 50 cents a day for your pet is really not that much in the big picture to help them live longer.
And also, you won't have to deal with the disturbing issue that a very expensive, wildly expensive, I dare say, kidney diet for cats,
Yes.
not a healthy diet. I can say that very clearly because now they have to make it low protein. Cat's an obligate carnivore. He doesn't want to eat those foods. Anyone who's bought a prescription cat food, many of which are dry, which is totally counterintuitive, dehydrate them from the inside out, knows that they've now spent $80 or pick a number on this food that they now have to donate to a shelter or something because the cat won't eat it. Now
Right.
they've got a cat throwing up, being inappetent, because when your kidneys aren't filtering, your body's full of toxins. You feel icky. That's why people with kidney disease have dialysis to clear their kidneys. That's a pretty miserable life, too. Humans. So we don't want the cat to feel sick later. Do you think that the younger generation, I hope, understands this differently than the older generation? We older people were never raised with an awareness that you could mitigate a disease by
Right.
by never letting it take foothold.
Yeah, I do think that the younger generation is more leaning more into educating themselves more around health. Like younger people do take supplements more often at an earlier age versus most people in my generation or older. They start when they see problems. So I think with the internet comes misinformation, but I also think comes more education at your fingertips. And so I do think that people are more willing to start supplements and be proactive. And I do think that we are going to see a shift in pets' health and they're going to live even longer. Especially there's way more cat owners these days. And a lot more people just looking at it's easier to have a cat more than a dog. And so
Well, they love them. They just like cats. They like other animals.
yes, yes. And
I think that it's frustrating for me because I've always advocated for supplements. I've been using sunblock on my face, not similar to a supplement, and taking supplements since I was in my late teens. So that's a long time, folks. We're talking old Tracie. So all I can say is that I still have massive amounts of energy and not a lot of the downside of aging. And I've always wanted to give supplements to my dogs and cats. There were no cat supplements back when I had cats before I got Weimaraners who like to eat cats, unfortunately. So that combination didn't work, and I was into rescued Weimaraners. But there wasn't anything for cats. And you can't just give a smaller portion of a dog supplement to a cat because it's not appropriate to a different species.
right.
Don't have the same kidney frailty, if you will, as cats do, jeopardy as cats. It would be so great if people, but how are we going to explain it? Because we can't say, look, your cat's great. And now he's 7, he's 8, and he's 10, and he's 12. No kidney disease. Do you think it's genetic? Do you think it's because you loved them so well? Or was it because you gave a Fera Pets kidney supplement made just for cats? I want people to know that every time we start with a pet, any of us, whether we adopt a 3-year-old or get a baby kitten or a puppy, we immediately think, oh my God, they're going to die before me. Old enough, in which case, parent, and then the parent will outlive you regardless because they live 100 years or something. But otherwise, we look at them every day, no matter what their age is, and go, oh my God, you're going to die.
Yeah.
It's hard not to think about it. By giving these supplements, you're pushing that off in time, and it's quality time. It's hard for people to envision risk.
Yeah.
And they get insurance for their car and their house, not so pets. Pet could really use insurance because many things can happen that are not only unpredictable, but some are predictable.
Right.
Predictable, like cancers for dogs, at least predictable. But it's hard to say to people this invisible wellness is taking place. The other thing is that a lot of the supplements that are out there are like one size fits all. Here's a cat supplement. It needs to be very specific. It needs to be formulated by somebody with a great deal of education and knowledge about mostly Eastern medicine, Chinese medicine, right?
Yeah. And also, because I am a vet, I can see all the different illnesses and diseases that come into the vet clinic, and I can address those head on. And so a lot of the times I would see upper respiratory infections, herpes virus, Cleese virus, all these cats, they come in, they have sneezing, runny nose, fevers. And one product that we also made just for cats is our Lysine immune supplement to really help with the upper respiratory infections and help with lung health and eye health. And so we use ingredients like olive leaf extract, echinacea, more ingredients that are natural to bring these antioxidants, but we also include it with Western ingredients like lactoferrin, quercetin, lysine that also help cellular defense. And when you combine all of these together, Eastern and the Western, it really does help promote just the immune health in general. And then we always at Fera, we're really big advocates for gut health. And so we always include some sort of probiotic or postbiotic in our formulas because we think that promoting the microbiome really does affect the whole health of the pet. And so when we have comprehensive formulas like this, we really do see a positive effect throughout the whole body. So it's just important to really look at everything. And we have another formula that is, if you're talking about insurance and you don't think, okay, kidney support is too specific or whatever it is, bladder health might be too specific. We do have a wellness blend that kind of puts it into one formula to help 6 different body systems. So we target with lysine with the immune health and eye health. We have taurine for heart health. We have green lip mussel for joint mobility. We have cranberry extract for urinary tract health, DHA for brain function. And then we also have a species specific probiotic that we isolated from mountain lions to ensure that the strains are aligned with the natural gut health of cats. And that wellness blend is a really good one to just boost their overall health every day. That will definitely make a benefit long term in many different body systems. So those are the three feline supplements that we have an offer right now. And I just really encourage everyone to go check it out, try them, really believe that they will make a positive difference in their cat's health, whether they see something in a week or
Right.
in a year, it's going to make a positive difference. It's better than doing nothing.
Really good point. And it does have to be faith. It's not faith in a religion, it's a belief in a kind of science that most of us know nothing about. We've heard something about Eastern medicine and Eastern philosophy of wellness, but it
Mhm.
has to do with protecting all those body systems
Mhm.
before they get ill. So love the idea of a cat wellness supplement. For anybody that wants to just have faith that there is a way to protect your cat's overall wellness, I think it's a really important step to take. And then certainly hope that your kitty doesn't develop any kidney issues, at which point you can have just the kidney wellness blend. Michelle Dulake, it's really great that you have boots on the ground, you have kitties in your hand and in your office, and you know that upper respiratory is one of the biggest dangers to all cats with so many viruses that they're susceptible to. Everybody will at least get the wellness blend. Where is the best way for them to get it?
They can get it just from ferapets.com on our website. We also sell on Chewy, Amazon, Petco, PetSmart.com. We're everywhere.
And
So
some of the small independent stores carry you as well.
all tenant stores, right?
Terrific. Thank you for being here. Thank you for caring about the cats and knowing they aren't just little dogs. And they
Yes.
deserve the very best we can give them because they're longer lived than dogs. So they make a more satisfying pet. The heartbreak is way down the road, and you can push it further down the road by getting these great Fera Pet supplements. Thank you for being a sponsor of my shows and for
Thank
doing this great work on behalf of our pets. Thank you, Michelle.
you so much for having me.
Take care.